I'm going to be testing Avatar Frontiers of Pandora on an RX 6600 GPU, and we are using a system that is a Ryzen 5 3600 16GB of DDR4 memory, that is 3200 MHz RAM. Everything is not overclocked. Alright, in the graphics settings we are using 1080p TAA and maximum settings possible. Alright, so you can see the graphics settings here. Let me show you the performance. So this is one of the most intensive areas. I just reached here and I need to reach this area. This game is just lagging a little bit. And as you can see, on the maximum settings possible, there is no CPU bottleneck or anything. The GPU is fully maximum utilized, and right now we're getting about 20 to 26 FPS, which is not very good. So this game has FSR3 and also frame generation. But there is a caveat with that, because actually with frame generation, you're not able to utilize it with MSI Afterburner turned on. There is some issue with that, and I hope the developers will actually fix it. And we got a huge stutter again, about 28 FPS average. You get the idea. Let's go ahead and turn on FSR3 now. And FSR3 quality, the same graphical settings now. Alright, so it looks like we gained about 10 to 15 FPS more. We were about at 28 FPS, now we're at 41, 43, 45, which is a sizable increase in my opinion, about 40% to 50% increase in performance with FSR3. And the game essentially looks the same in my opinion. You have also got an option for turning on, that is FSR3 Ultra Quality. Let's try that now. And yeah, Ultra Quality FSR3. I think this is the native resolution FSR3 part or something like that. No, it's not native, but it's very like about 8 to 10 FPS more, or even lesser. Yeah, coming back to this area, which was the most intensive, we're getting about 33. Yeah, which was 28 before. So let's just start counting the frames again in this, and we got about 42 FPS average on quality FSR3, and at ultra quality I'm seeing about 36. Alright guys, so I've now turned on frame generation, which is the magic button for AMD actually, because as you can see right here, frame generation is turned on with FSR3 at ultra quality. We just turn down it to quality in a little while, but let's see at ultra quality how does it improve. We are at maximum settings right now, the same, just motion blur and frame and depth of field are turned off. As you can see right there, we're getting about 51, 55, which previously at native we were getting about 30. So from 30 to 48 to 45 to 48 FPS at ultra settings. Going from FSR3 to frame generation, we are getting about 53 to 55. But basically, MSI Afterburner's on-screen display doesn't work with FSR3 frame generation in this game currently. So we are trying the AMD's OSD, which is their own driver OSD, which works with frame generation. And as you can see right there, we are getting about 60 to 65 FPS with frame generation turned on. Now let's go ahead and turn down this ultra quality FSR3, because we have that also. We can go to quality and let's see if we get some improvement or not. Yes, indeed we do. We get about 64, 68, 61, and in this area previously we were getting lower than 60 FPS with frame generation. Now we're about 50 FPS most of the times, and most of the times about 60 FPS also. Let's go to this lake area and let's see if there is any difference here. And as you can see, about 70 FPS. Yes, this is a very premium experience, and I cannot see any kind of input lag also. I cannot feel it. In my opinion, it's very bearable and you can easily play it. This game has very good optimization for FSR3, so I would seriously recommend you guys that you use it. Let's go to the other settings now. Let's go to high settings and let's see how it performs. A quick restart and setting the high settings at native resolution, we are at about 37, 38 FPS now. At native resolution, that is. I just started counting the frame rate, and as you can see, getting about 39, 40 sometimes, and 39 FPS average, 43 now. And this is a very sizable increase, like 10 FPS increase from ultra to high, but the fidelity has not decreased that much in my opinion. It still looks kind of the same compared to ultra settings. So let's go ahead now and let's turn on FSR3. Okay, so looks like about 44, 45 now, about 5 FPS increase, the same as previously with ultra settings. And now we're at ultra quality FSR3. So yeah, let's go to quality FSR3 now. Okay, so looks like about 54. Okay, so we are now getting close to 60 FPS, which is a very good frame rate to be applying frame generation on, because frame generation is For every kind of frame generation, it's recommended to apply it at about 60 FPS. We're close to 55 now, 56 FPS average, but the 1% lows are pretty bad, and I hope they will fix this. I've installed the game on an SSD, so that is not an issue in my opinion. So I've just enabled FSR3 frame generation at ultra quality first, and at high settings preset, as you can see right there, ultra quality frame generation on FSR3, and graphics are at high settings preset with motion blur and depth of field turned off. And as you can see right there, the frame generation is like amazing. It's getting close to 70 FPS now, and most of the times, and as you can see 73, 77 FPS at ultra quality. That is, as soon as I will decrease it at quality FSR3, it will get higher frames. Alright, so let's just go ahead and first go to this river area, and let's see what performance do we get close to water. And as you can see, about 72, 75, also 79, 78. That is amazing, guys, in my opinion. Alright, so quality FSR3. Now let's see how much of an increase do we get. Okay, so about close to 10 FPS increase from going from ultra quality with frame generation. And as you can see, also reaching 90 most of the times, which is very good. This game is very playable at these settings, and there is not much of an input lag at these settings. There are some animals there, and as soon as they're walking, I'm not seeing much of ghosting. There is some ghosting around them, but it's not very much in my opinion, and it's still very playable. Alright, so you guys get the idea. Now let's go to the medium settings. Alright guys, so going from high to medium also gets us about a 10 FPS increase. As you can see right there, let's start counting the frames again. About 49, 45, 50 also. And looking back at this area, which is very intensive, about 45, 46. Alright, and 47 FPS average. Let's move around a little bit and see if we get some decreases more than that. Let's go to this area that is water, that has a lot of water and stuff. There's bombs there. These explode when you hit them, so that's not very good. Let's go here. Yeah, it's performing better, I think, on medium settings at least. Water looks good even on medium. Yeah, so let's go back now at 50, about 50 FPS average. I'm gonna go ahead now and actually turn on frame FSR3 first on ultra quality, and let's see. We will get about 5 FPS more, I think, still. So let's just see that. Alright guys, so now at FSR3 on ultra quality, we're getting about 55. Let's start counting the frames again. We're back at the same area where we were previously at about 58 FPS, 57, 55. Let's look back here, and while looking back here, we're not dropping from 49 at least. That's what I saw the minimum here. So previously we were getting about 44, 45 here, and about I would say 5 FPS increase again. Let's go back to quality. Alright guys, so now at FSR3 quality, and let's start counting the frames again. We are getting about 62, 64. So yeah, more about 5 FPS increase more, or I would say more than that. So this nets you close to more than 60 FPS most of the times, and this will not drop now from 60 FPS. So if you want to play more than 60 FPS, I would recommend these settings, medium settings, quality FSR3. And if you can play with frame generation, because some people might think that it will apply some kind of input lag, so they might not want to play with frame generation. But if you want to play at frame generation, you can easily use ultra or high settings at FSR3 quality and then get good results. Alright guys, so I've just enabled FSR3 frame generation with ultra quality and on medium settings, and I'm getting about 84 to 81 FPS. This is a very good performance bump with frame generation at ultra quality. So if you guys want to use medium settings and get most of the times about 60 FPS and close to even 100 FPS most of the times, then you can use ultra quality FSR3 with frame generation, and that will net you very good results in my opinion. And the gameplay is very smooth, there is no issues, and I could also not feel any input lag of any sorts that is distracting in any way. This is a very good implementation of FSR3 frame generation, and I hope the developers in the future continue to do this. Alright, let's go ahead now and go to quality. Alright guys, so going to quality FSR3 now. We are pegged at 100 FPS, which is very good. Yeah, so this is very good showing by this GPU. Now what I'm going to do is actually go back to this area, and let's see, because that was more intensive, and looking at the whole map from there, or a part of the map from there, you can get a very sizable, very good representation of how the game is going to perform. Yeah, so 100 FPS, 99 FPS. Yeah, this is very playable, and I already told you guys, if you guys want to play at high settings, you could get more than 60 FPS more of the times. At even at ultra settings you could get close to 60 FPS with frame generation turned on at quality FSR3, and that will let you very good results in a first person game like this, which is very close to Far Cry series. You can get very good frame rates and the game will not be distracting in any way. Alright, let's move on ahead. Wow guys, alright, so this is close to 70 FPS. I'm at 1440p right now, and 1440p frame generation turned on at quality FSR3. This is quality FSR3 at 1440p, and this is a AAA title at medium settings preset with frame generation, and it's running close to 70 FPS at a first person game. That's very good result guys from frame generation in my opinion. If you guys want to play at 1440p, you can even do that on this GPU. This was the case back in 2022 and also 2021, which is a given, that many games that came out were actually very good performing at 1440p also on many GPUs. There were some outliers, some games didn't run very well, but still a lot of games that came out in 2021 and 2022 ran pretty well at 1440p also on this GPU. Now these days many games that have been coming out in 2023 have not been running very well, and this FSR3 this is just very promising. I cannot see much of a difference between native and this FSR3 on quality and with frame generation. There is not much of a difference, and the game looks very sharp. It's pretty looking. And if you guys want to play at high settings, you can even choose 1080p and get higher than 60 FPS. So this is a very good showing. I think developers should be doing this, and they should be including these technologies. And many gamers were actually pretty bothered by this, that many developers are keeping in mind FSR3 and DLSS and optimizing their games like this. But if the native quality and FSR3 are just the same, then I don't know if there is any reason to not use them. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will really appreciate if you guys leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.